Antoine Carr. The Jazz up 74-67.
This man, Michael Jordan, is still the best player in basketball. He's on top of his game. He is so sick right now. He'd love to be lying down in a bed somewhere, and he's still playing well, although had the very quiet third quarter.
Chicago's missed 7 of their last 8 shot attempts. Reach-in foul charged to Greg Foster. The Chicago Bulls have been in a 2-2 position in the NBA Finals just once during their previous 4 title runs. That was back in '92 against Portland. And they went out to beat the Blazers 4-2. That was their second of 4 titles. It is 2-2 right now in this game number 5 as Michael Jordan cuts it to a 5-point Jazz lead. Game 6 coming up in Chicago on Friday here on NBC starting 9 o'clock Eastern. Game 7, if necessary, in Chicago on Sunday night. Chris Mars back on the floor. Had some good moments. Not there, though. Coming up short.
But he's willing to take shots. And right now, some of these guys from Utah are tightening up a bit. How long are you going to go with Karl Malone on the bench? He's looking up at Jerry Sloan and saying, put me in there, coach.
Malone playing with 4 fouls. So he's been sitting here at the start of the 4th quarter. Antoine Carr. And here is Chris Mars.
and that'll buy Karl Malone another 30 seconds or another minute of rest. Time and score will dictate when Karl Malone comes back in.
Chris Morris with 11 points off the bench. Jordan, yes, the Jazz 77 and the Bulls 71 with 2 minutes gone by in the 4th quarter.
And you're talking about him leaving Marvin, not playing anymore. He's having the time of his life out there.
Well, we talked about that with him the other day. And I said, could you actually sit out next year? He claimed he could. Whether he's just positioning, we don't know. Jordan with the rebound. Jordan pops it down to Kukoc. Kukoc for 3. Yes.
Well, of course, this is not as much fun as baseball. No way.
The Jazz leading by 3.
Well, Tony Kukoc might as well only take 3-point shots. That's all he's made in the last 2 games for Chicago.
Carr's pass broken up. And Pippen able to come up with it on the deflection. Jordan fires for 3. Yes. And he's tied the game at 77. And he did it in casual form.
Poise, confidence, discipline, the exchange between Pippen and Jordan. Once, twice, right back. You do it, big guy. Pump fake, freezes the defense. The jumper, net. Then he staggers back to the bench, near exhaustion, ready to fall over. He's got his team tied now. Where is that bench? He gets there and sits back, and they put the ice bag on his neck. He won't even take the Gatorade.
He doesn't want to waste any energy. No high fives, no lifting water to his mouth. He is exhausted.
A heroic performance by Michael Jordan. He has played 35 minutes. He has scored 30 points. And the game is tied at 77. Karl Malone is back. Here's John Stockton. Chicago can recapture the lead. Utah has led by as many as 16. The Bulls at one point led by 1. Russell on Jordan. Anderson cheating over. Shot clock at 7. Jordan shooting. Yes. Chicago 79 and Utah 77.
It was his burst of speed to get to the position that set it all up, and then he just outweighted Russell facial. Where's Karl Malone?
Ball played by Williams. Illegal defense for the first time against the Bulls.
Well, there's this cut across by Michael, getting open, wants to really drive, but not a good enough spacing by the rest of the Chicago Bulls, but just that little shake was able to get Brian Russell on his heels. Michael just laboring to get back to that defensive end, just trying to get to the finish line.
Brian Brian Williams poked it away. Bulls have outscored the Jazz 12-5 in this fourth quarter. Jordan with 9 of those 12 points. Kukoc coming out to help on a double. Russell for 3. Ryan Russell with his third three-pointer, and Kerr and Stockton became entangled. They've had a very physical matchup these past couple of games.
John Stockton and Steve Kerr, as Kerr got his marching orders from Phil Jackson to be more physical. And that's very tough against the little John Stockton. All Kerr could do was take Stockton down.
And double technicals called on Stockton and Kerr. These two guys go back quite some time. John Stockton played at Gonzaga, had a terrific career. That's a reaching foul. Hugh Evans with the call on Hornacek. And Steve Kerr was recruited by Gonzaga. Went out to work out at Gonzaga against John Stockton and changed his mind.
Well,
Ended up going to Arizona, yes.
Stockton torched him there. Steve coming out of the Los Angeles area, Pacific Palisades. Then he gets up there on the recruiting tryout trip and was embarrassed.
Jordan for 3. Kukoc able to hustle it down and fire.
The other nice shot from Kukoc.
And then Kukoc deflected it out of bounds.
Chicago appearing to have the same problems they had in the fourth quarter of Game 4, relying so much on Michael Jordan when the other players get the opportunity, unable to deliver.
Stockton with the step to set it up for Hornacek. Ostertag with the rebound. And last touch by the Bulls. It will be Utah ball. We have 7 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. The Jazz up by 1.
Small front line for Chicago can get beaten on the offensive glass. Brian Williams, Jordan, and Pippen are going to have to do most of the rebounding.
And the foul on Kukoc. For the Bulls, their second team foul. The Jazz also have 2.
Kukoc gets caught here on this screen, and when he realizes he's dead, he just grabs on, tries to pull Hornacek down. Easy call. 2-shot foul for Hornacek, one of the great free throw shooters in the history of the NBA.
How about Ostertag? 14 rebounds, 7 on the offensive glass. And the Jazz now leading 81-79. There's Greg Ostertag in his second season from Kansas, a #1 draft pick last year, made major strides this season. And miss for Hornacek. Chicago with the ball, trailing by 2. Jordan trying to slow things down. You can see him motioning over to Kukoc. Jordan with the step and lost it. Brian Williams with the recovery. And another rebound for Greg Ostertag.
An unbelievable battle underneath the hoop, Marv. Guys are just flying, flailing away. Ostertag has been the best one tonight underneath the hoop.
Malone sent the pick. Kerr trying to draw the foul. Williams broke up the pass. Shot clock at 3. Russell for 3. And Stockton able to reach for it. They get the new 24.
Ostertag continues to do damage to Chicago on the offensive glass, keeping balls alive.
Hornacek passed on the 3 and lost it. Here comes Pippen protecting the dribble, spinning his way, and fouled by Russell. Tonight we look back at Michael Jordan's highest scoring NBA Finals game. It was Game 4 of the '93 Final Series against the Phoenix Suns. Michael Jordan with 55 points, 21 of 37 from the field. The 55 tied Rick Barry for the second most points scored in a Finals. Elgin Baylor scored 61 against the Celtics for the Lakers back in '65. In recognition of this classic moment, the Miller Brewing Company will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. To check up on the condition of Michael Jordan, let's check in with Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad?
All right, thanks, Marv. I just spoke with Chip Traynor, the Bulls trainer. And Chip says Michael's just still fatigued, totally fatigued. He doesn't know how he continues to play, but as you watch him, he is struggling and still out there trying to give it his all. Let's go down to Jim Gray.
All right, thanks, Ahmad. During that timeout, Jerry Sloan told his team, I'm very happy with this type of effort. It's this type of effort that's going to win the game. Then he looked right at Greg Ostertag, and he told him, get ready for the ball in front of the rim. He says, it's coming to you because they're going to be double-teaming Karl Malone the rest of the way. Marv?
All right, thank you, Jim. And Scottie Pippen to the free throw line. He's 4 of 5 at the line. 5:57 remaining in the fourth quarter. And the Bulls are down by 2. What a follow-up to what took place here on Sunday night. The Jazz beat the Bulls in a dramatic finish, 78-73. But to the Big Four, led by Michael Jordan. The game on Sunday, the second lowest scoring game in NBA Finals history, but it will go down as a classic by virtue of that finish. Utah scoring the game's final 9 points, and we have another dazzling finish developing here. The game tied at 81. Dennis Rodman back in, playing with 5 fouls. Karl Malone playing with 4. Along with a bad pass, but a foul is called. Jazz bailed out on that foul. Only 6 on the shot clock. It's called on Jordan, his 3rd.
Utah having a lot of trouble delivering the ball. Michael Jordan grabbing Brian Russell from behind. Karl Malone just 5 points and 3 boards here in the entire second half. Played by foul trouble. He's got 4.
Both teams with 3. Team foul. And pass. And the ball back to the Bulls.
And that scoring slack picked up by Chris Morris earlier and Greg Ostertag, both them with 11 points as Karl Malone's scoring is down.
Jordan being played by Russell. Pippen gets the grip. And it will be Utah ball. Timeout situation. Chicago 4 and a 20 remaining. Utah with 3 and a 20 with 5 minutes to go. The score tied at 81. Russell to the fifth pack. Ostertag could not get to it.
That was Jim Gray's report. You got to get the ball into Ostertag's house and Ostertag's hands in the front of the rim. As soon as I learn how to talk and think at the same time, we can move on with this game.
Rodman setting up with the high post, finding Jordan. Rebounded by Malone. Michael Jordan, who can barely remain standing, leading the way with 32 and a foul called. The push putting Stockton on the floor, but it's a non-shooting call. Team foul number 4 committed by Chicago.
This has been the strategy for Chicago, especially in the fourth quarter, really only in the fourth quarter, running to double team Stockton to make him pick up his dribble and get the ball out of his hand.
Chicago's guards, Steve Kerr and Ron Harper, done a much better job on Stockton here tonight than they did in Game 4. Now, who's going to want to shoot here for Utah?
Oh, Malone, not what he had in mind. Karl Malone went to the air and then wasn't certain whether he wanted to pass it or shoot it, and that was the end result.
You don't win the championship unless your best player delivers at the biggest moments. Karl Malone in Game 3 was huge, going to the hoop all night long. Game 4, he settled for the perimeter shot. Tonight, with everything on the line in a game the Jazz absolutely have to win, Karl Malone, 14 in the paint, 4 points on the jumpers. But again, with just 5 points in the second half, not enough.
But Karl is still not getting those opportunities at that high right elbow, top of the key area, where he can either take or fake that jump shot and then drive it hard.
The game tied at 81. And we've been tied at 81 for the last 2 minutes. And Kerr was pushed. Number 5 on Malone. He's hurt himself with some bad fouls. Remember, number 3 which followed a poor shot, and then number 4 put him on the bench for a long time.
Well, you have to go out to the open man because Kerr, even though he's shooting the ball terribly from 3, you got to challenge, but you can't get another foul like that.
Karl has always been a reach-in type defensive player. Never really played above the rim on the defensive end.
Here's Jordan trying to go glass. Pippen could not convert on the rebound. Hornacek for Russell on the wing. He had Stockton on the other side, but did not see him. We're down to 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the fourth. The game tied at 81. Malone played by Rodman and double team. Pippen knocked it aside. Picked up, recovered though. Stockton for 3. Same exact spot that he hit that enormous three-pointer in game 4. And he just did it with 2 on the shot clock. 3-point Jazz lead. Bulls have missed their last 6 shots. Jordan, yes. But Jazz by 1 with 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the fourth quarter.
All game long, Russell forces him left, and then he gives up an easy right-hander. Jordan is too good to allow him into the middle of the lane.
Malone backing Rodman. And a foul against the Bulls, and they're upset. That is number 6 on Dennis Rodman.
Well, the Chicago Bulls defense doing a good job of cutting off Ostertag on that cut to the basket when Longley goes to for the double team. Here, the loose ball, the scramble, everybody diving around, and John Stockton calmly, with just 1 second left on the shot clock, with the huge 3, and Michael Jordan on the move, beating Russell to the right, hanging in the air, and finishing that shot off.
And then Karl Malone in the paint, the fadeaway on the arm, clearly by Dennis Rodman, forcing the shot to be short. And now Karl Malone again at the line with everything to be determined with these 2 foul shots.
Malone is 4 of 7 at the line. You see the stats on Rodman in 23 minutes, 7 rebounds, only 1 field goal, 2 points. He's been replaced by Tony Kukoc.
That's that lack of discipline we were talking about early in the game with Dennis Rodman when he picked up a couple of cheap fouls. If you get Karl Malone to take that fadeaway shot, you have to be happy. Just go up and challenge it. You never want a foul on that shot.
Utah with a 2-point lead. 2:25 remaining in the fourth. The chant of MVP for Karl Malone. Oh, he barely caught the left side of the rim.
Well, fading back and falling back, but he did that the other night and still made one.
Karl Malone's guarding Tony Kukoc. This is a very difficult matchup for him. Tony, incredibly smart.
Shot clock at 5, and a foul called on the Jazz. It's on Hornacek. Team foul number 5 for Utah. So both teams are now over the foul limit. And Scottie Pippen back to the line. He's 6 of 7 at the line, and he has an opportunity to tie the game. Chicago is now 18 of 26 at the line. So they will certainly have their chances as opposed to the other night.
You look at Scottie Pippen through this final series, up and down, playing with the bad foot, the heroic performance game 1, a little down, but that was all Michael Jordan in game 2. Game 3 comes back.
Kukoc able to rescue.
Come back to Jordan, he's clapping for it.
Chicago trailing by 1. Just under 2 minutes remaining in the fourth. Remaining in the fourth. The Jazz with a 1-point lead. Hornacek at the step. Stockton for 3. And faced down by Russell. whistle. They get the new 24. And Stockton checking with Jerry Sloan. Utah good shape in terms of timeouts. 3:20 remaining. Shot clock at 10. Here's Malone stepping back for the fadeaway. Bad shot that is handled by Pippen. There was plenty of time on the 24.
And Phil Jackson calling for a pick and roll. Obviously, Michael Jordan to be the ball handler.
Down to 50 seconds. Here's Longley with the pick. Here's Jordan. Foul. Hit on a reach-in, and you can just look at the body language on Michael Jordan. You get the idea he's having difficulty just standing up.
But Ostertag saves the day here as the defense broke down. Karl Malone with plenty of time on the shot clock. He can beat Luke Longley. He's fading away there. He's fading on his baseline shot from down low. He's fading on his free throws. Utah needs a timeout. Jerry Sloan needs to tell Karl Malone to go to the hoop.
Now look from overhead at the Delta Center, Salt Lake City, Utah. Marv Albert, Matt Kukas, Bill Walton, Bob Rashad, Jim Gray. Utah has won 23 straight at home, 10-0 at home in the playoffs. You see the timeouts remaining. Michael Jordan, playing despite flu symptoms, has been able to hang in, looking exhausted right from the opening tip. And he's headed to the line for 2 shots, 9 of 10 at the line. All the free throws in the first half. 46 and 5/10 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. And it's the Jazz 85, the Bulls 84. Jordan, an 83% free throw shooter during the season. And the game is tied at 85.
Marv, the Bulls have been here so many times. The huge games, year after year. The confidence, the poise, the determination, the discipline and organization down the stretch, all paying off right now with Jordan masterfully at the line.
Jordan able to scoop up the loose ball for the possession with 40 seconds remaining. The game tied at 85.